Hello, hi everybody, this is Christopher and welcome to the new channel. I am assuming most of you got here through our other channel, AG Productions, where we do a lot of painting type stuff, but if you did not, hey, you're welcome here as well. This channel is going to be all about health, and not necessarily just physical health as well. I'm thinking also perhaps mental as well as spiritual health, because when you master those three areas and you pump them up and get them to be as full and as vibrant as you can live a very, very nice lifestyle. Now, for those of you that are unaware, maybe you found this channel through some other means other than our painting channel, or maybe you're finding this a year or so down the road, who knows, and you have not seen some of the other videos on the painting channel. The main reason that I'm starting this channel is sort of a pseudo-vlog slash instructional thing. I have spent many, many years of my life being very, very ill. I have had unbelievable problems with asthma and allergies and things like that, and to be honest with you, this past year has been a nightmare. There were several times during the past year, very specifically within the last few months as of the filming of this video, where I really, really was wondering if I was even going to see 2014. And so, because of that, I have decided to take the entire year of 2014 and sort of dedicate it to the renewing of my mind, my body, and my spirit. Very specifically focusing on my body this year. But what I'd like to just sort of briefly go over is kind of what you're going to see here. As I mentioned, most of what you're going to see here is sort of a vlog of myself, kind of, I don't want to say tracking my progress, because to be perfectly honest with you, most of you out there probably don't care what my progress is. But I think in some ways this is sort of going to spur me into action, knowing that in some ways I am somewhat accountable for what I do with my body and how I treat it. And so you'll see some sort of vlog type things where I sort of go over what I've done over the past week, maybe where I am physically as far as weight or body fat or things like that, or what I'm doing as far as diet and things. But a lot of this is also going to be sort of instruction. I've done this before. I've gotten very, very healthy in the past, and things have shifted around due to certain circumstances that occurred, and I got knocked completely off course, and I've done it several different times. This time, though, I feel, in some ways, because I feel like I'll be able to remember the sort of health scare, I guess, if you will, or scares that I've had over the last year. And if I can't remember them, I'll certainly go back and watch my own videos on the other channel about how I felt and what I was going through to spur me into more action. I feel like I'll be able to stick with it this time, and I hope that by doing this channel and by doing these videos, that many of you out there will also be inspired to take charge of yourself and to take charge of your bodies and your minds and your spirits, and to excel in those areas. I began sort of a well, nowadays they call it personal development. In previous generations it would have been called motivation. But I got into these personal development CDs and books and seminars and things like that several years ago, probably, oh gosh, 2005-ish, so maybe about 10 years, not quite 10 years ago. And one of the things that I have learned wholeheartedly is I am responsible. If you listen to anything by Brian Tracy, that is one of the key phrases that he lives his life by. I am responsible. And when you take that to heart and you realize that every single thing that you do has an impact in your life, whether good or bad, you start thinking about your actions in a completely different way. And so I realize that through the things that I eat, the things I put into my body, the way I treat my body, the way I move, the way I breathe, the way I walk, the way I talk, all of these things impact my health. And many of them can have a far greater impact than so-called, quote-unquote, germs, which is what most of us think causes disease and illness in our bodies. But we'll get there at a later date when I do another video. What I want to kind of go over very, very briefly, we're at 5 minutes now, that's fine, is just really quickly, I want to say, if you're going to jump into this thing with me, I want you guys to understand this is not going to be a, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Let's call it a quick fix. This is not going to be a quick fix. You're not looking at Power 90X. You're not looking at Insanity. You're not looking at Beachbody. Those programs, while they may be good, and I have no experience with them, none whatsoever, but I can tell you this. If you take a program like P90X, for example, and you say, okay, I'm going to take from now and 90 days from now, I'm going to look like a Greek god. That's fantastic. Good for you. What do you do after 90 days? And, I know you can pop a tape in the VCR. Well, whoa, dating myself. You can put a DVD into the DVD player, and you can continue with those exercises and workouts and things like that for as long as you want to. But if all you're doing that for is, 3 months from now you want to fit into the swimsuit that you really want to wear to the beach, you're doing it for all the wrong reasons. All the wrong reasons. Health, fitness, it should be a lifelong pursuit. It should be an ideal that you dedicate yourself to becoming an absolute expert at. You want to be the master in the entire world of health and fitness. And so that's how I'm approaching this. And because of that, this is not going to be a swift process. I've done this enough times, and I've failed enough times in other instances when I've tried it out to know that if I jump in with both feet, so to speak, or if I go, forgive the expression, balls to the wall or whole hog, generally speaking, it doesn't last very long. But if I ease myself into it, and I go gradually, and I'm progressing daily towards a goal, or not even necessarily a goal, but maybe a vision that I have for my body and my health, I will stick to it much, much more solidly than if I go full bore into the thing. Let me give you an example. Suppose, for instance, that you wanted to lose a bunch of weight and that you wanted to get healthy and become very, very fit. Okay. Let's suppose that you decide you're going to start on Monday. Whatever day you're watching this, the following Monday, that's when you're going to start. Okay? So you get up nice and early Monday morning. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. You say, the hell with being tired. I'm going to do it anyway. All right? And you get out and you exercise like a maniac, like a madman. You run 10 miles or jog 10 miles, because most of you probably couldn't run 10 miles on your first day anyway. You go 10 miles, let's just say that. Throughout the entire day, every time somebody offers you a snack or a piece of candy, you say, I don't want that crap, I don't eat that junk anymore. For lunch, I'm having a salad. And for dinner, I might have a bowl of split pea soup or something like that. All right? And then, after dinner, I'm going to spend an hour lifting weights and just going nuts because I'm getting healthy. All right, that's great. Well, next morning you wake up, your alarm clock goes off at 4 o'clock, and you feel like you've been hit by a steamroller. And so instead of getting up, you're like, all right, I'm going to take the day off, and I'll just pick up tomorrow. Well, guess what? Tomorrow comes, and you're like, you know what? I'm still not feeling good. Maybe tomorrow. And the next day comes, and you're like, I feel a little bit better, but gosh, it's kind of early and I'm pretty tired. So, you know what? I'll just pick up next Monday. Let's just, I don't feel like, kind of breaking the cycle that much. So let's just start on Monday. I'll just start over on Monday. All right? And then Monday comes around, and you may start over, you may not. But it's this cycle of go out and work like a maniac, work like crazy, and you're like, oh, not for me, not for me. And it happens over and over and over and over and over again. And I've seen it happen both in my life and other people's lives. It is absolutely such a common occurrence, and yet everybody does it. And so here's what I'm going to do, all right? And if you want to join me on this, I highly encourage you to do it, and I hope that you will. My official starting date for trying to revamp my body is January 1st. I want to go ahead and finish out the year. It's a dumb idea, I will go ahead and tell you, to attempt to take care of your body or to start taking care of your body towards a holiday season. It takes unbelievable willpower. Most of us don't have it. If you do, God bless you, because I don't, okay? I've tried it before. If I come up to the holiday season and I'm already doing good, fine. No problem. But if I say, you know what, I'm going to start December 1st and I'm going to take care of my body. Well, guess what? Okay, I go Christmas shopping. I'm going through the mall. I see the shop that's got, the fudge being rolled out by hand. And, the look over here and they're making cookies. And I look over here and there's like these little holiday gift boxes of wonderful meats and cheeses and everything. And I'm thinking, you know what? Let's just have a little sample. And that little sample over the next week or so turns into, mountains of candy and meat and cheese and everything else you can imagine. All kinds of junk food. So it's a bad idea to start during the holidays. But what I'm going to do, and if you want to do this, I would highly encourage you to do it. In order to help your body kind of get used to doing things that it's not used to doing, I'm going to sort of do what's called ramping up. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on December 1st, and I'm just going to do some basic, simplistic, no-stress exercises. I'm not going to push myself. All I'm going to do is get my body used to the movements that I'm going to take in a massive way starting on January 1st. All right, so for instance, if let's say I decide to do pull-ups as of January 1st as one of my exercises, what I might do is I might set up my pull-up bar and I might do, let's say, one pull-up every single time I walk into a room, whatever room that pull-up bar is under. All right, so let's say it's above the door going to my kitchen. All right, every time I go into the kitchen, before I walk in, I grab the pull-up bar, pull up, I'm done. Walk inside. No mess, no problem, no pain, no stress, nothing. Leave the kitchen. All right. Maybe an hour later, look at my drink of water. Hey, I need some ice. Let me go get some ice. So I head, oh, look, kitchen. Pull up bar, boom, go into the kitchen. All right. Now, what if I decide to run instead? Because I love jogging. I love being outdoors, especially in the wintertime, the cold, crisp air blowing by my face. I love jogging. It is such a fun exercise. I know it's not necessarily the best thing for your knees, but it's a great, it's an enjoyable thing for me. And so what I might do is I might pick the route that I'm going to jog, and I might walk a portion of it. All right. So for instance, I know that when I'm doing fairly well, I can jog about 6 miles. All right. So I might pick the first mile, and I'll go the first mile walking, and then I'll start to come back to my house, and I'll jog for a little bit. Now, not a lot necessarily, just what I feel like I can do. When I start kind of feeling tired or winded, I'll stop and I'll just walk the rest of the way home. So basically what I've done is I've gotten in 2 miles worth of walking and jogging, but I haven't felt stressed about it. I haven't felt like I'm doing any exercise. I'm just kind of getting used to the motions, all right? And so that's what I'd like to encourage you to take on, all right? Starting December 1st, or whenever you see this video, just get used to doing some things as far as your body goes, all right? And it doesn't have to be limited to exercise, by the way, okay? So for instance, let's say right now, again, we're heading into December. We're approaching that holiday season. What if instead of piling up the food on the plate when Christmas gets here, instead of doing that, why don't you just say, you know what? I'm going to start by taking just whatever I would normally have gotten. I'm only going to take half of it. And you take half of it, and you eat it, and you sit there for a few minutes, and you think to yourself, do I really want any more food? Maybe a little bit more, but not quite, the same amount that I just had. So go back and get a little bit more, and you eat that, and you sit there. Do I want any more food? No, not really. I'm actually kind of full, and I've only eaten, let's say, 2/3 of what I normally would have eaten. Okay? And so that's a way to slowly come into reducing the amount of food that you're going to take in. Or let's say, you are walking around the mall and you're looking at those boxed chocolates from Russell Stover or See's or Godiva or whoever else is out there. And, I'll be first to admit, I love gourmet chocolate. I really do. It's fantastic stuff. But here's how I like to approach it. I might actually purchase a box of chocolates, all right? But I tend to limit myself to one little piece of chocolate a day. And to be honest with you, by about day 5, I'm like, I really don't want any today. I'm kind of sick of it. And if you eat it slowly like that, you really don't crave it as much. And so it's a way to sort of ease into making your body better, making better judgments about not necessarily just your fitness, which would be the workout type stuff, but also your health, which is the inner workings of your body. So just a few quick little tips. We're approaching 17 minutes, so I'm definitely going to go ahead and kill this video now. But I just kind of wanted to introduce you guys to the channel. Thank you for coming over, and just sort of give you a heads up as to kind of how I'm going to approach this. You probably won't see that many videos on this channel, maybe a couple a week at the most. And so hopefully some of you will join us on this journey, because I think it's going to be a fun one. I've got some really nice goals set up, and that's one of the things we're going to talk about is goal setting. And I think that a lot of you out there, I think you're going to have fun if you get in on this, because I can tell you from past experience, there is basically nothing that feels as good as being healthy. Having abundance of energy to do anything you want to do, anytime you want to do it, is absolutely priceless. And so what I want to do is I want to invite you to join me as I go into 2014, or whenever you see this video. I want to invite you to take control of your bodies this year and to change your body and make it into all that it can possibly be. So, thank you for joining us. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for coming over to the channel. Go ahead and hit that like button or the thumbs up button or whatever the heck they call it nowadays. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well. And if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to leave those down in the comments section down below. That's all I've got for you guys today. So again, I really thank you for joining us. And look forward to a very, very fun year. And I certainly hope that a lot of you will join us, not in just watching the videos, but in participating as well. But yeah, that's all I've got for you guys today. So thank you very, very much for watching. God bless you all. Have an outstanding rest of the day. And I will see you all in the next video.